Yes, we are, and currently the guy that's winning in this game. I think someone might have actually said that they basically already both of these guys advanced. I'm not 100% sure, but in the top left position as the blue Zerg player, who's up 1-0, it is Liquid Snute. Fantastic first game.
Well played in that first series, getting that 4th base and his economy running very, very strong early on. I don't think it's going to go for something very early crazy. He's moving out his Overlord here to scout for some possible 11-11 racks really early, and it's a bit interesting because usually Zerg players like to send the Overlord straight to the natural base of the Terran player, but he chooses to take another path.
Yeah, he just wants to play it safe, really. I think we kind of saw this. You know, it's funny because we saw this same style of scouting in Snute versus Kerr, where on Neo Planet S, he's like, all right, let's make sure that I do a little bit of extra scouting so that I don't get hit with anything really weird. Of course, in that game, it would have been something along the lines of a 2-gate, but in this instance, you know, it's that potential 2 racks or even a potential proxy Reaper.
Yeah, but he's going to set his Overlord up in a nice position to be able to go into the main base and scout what's going on there when it comes to that point, like at the 6-7 minute mark somewhere. So it's good too to have the Overlord there close to the main base. We will wait and see here if Snute is going to take that gas and go for that early speed that he seems to like in CVT, or if he's going to go for the gasless build.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing is that you have so many options because even Hyun in the game that we saw kind of was able to kind of pull off that sort of gasless opening. You don't need to run over to that speed, but MMA is sticking to the Reaper opening, and I can't fault him. There's so many safe ways to play out of this, but it's also that you always have that potential to do damage, to pick off a few drones in the beginning, and I do like this setup overall.
Yeah, I think Reaper openings are really strong, and I'm surprised that not every turn is using them, basically, because you can delay the 3rd base for quite some time. It's very hard for a Zerg player to take a crazy early 3rd, and you can, like you said, like you pointed out, you can pick up some drones here and there and just go back with the Reapers to heal them up, just move in, scout. You get all the scouting information you need if you control them well. So I think Rian is doing a good job. He's also controlling his Reapers really well, and we saw last game that he managed to pick off 2 drones, and that's kind of important.
Yeah, it's if you get more than 2, of course, that's the magic number. But one drone does go into extractor mode to try to defend itself, stay sheltered. There's a second drone quite weak. Will be forced to temporarily become that spore crawler. He actually already forces another spore crawler. Do you have that drone weakened? I didn't even notice that. So he's got 2 building, and it's so annoying.
Extractor.
Yeah, it's so annoying. He's got. That's nice though. I mean, as far as the resources lost, that's 50 resources technically total, and he still might be able to snipe off a drone. He's so close.
That drone is so low. Wow.
No cigar.
There. So yeah, I think that MMA is doing a really good job with this Reaper. So there is no, it's not like I'm questioning why he's going Reapers. Very well played there by MMA once again. No 3rd queen going up for Snute, and that's a bit surprising. Actually, I think that usually he likes to go for that 3rd queen.
Nice.
Fast Roach Warren coming up once again at the 5:30 mark, and I think that will be once again just to take like 3, 4, 5 roaches to be able to secure the 3rd base without losing it to Hellions and Reapers.
Yeah, and we're seeing once again that Snute. I think another tell that he's not going to go all in with this is that he's opening up with the Overlord speed again. So he wants to have that scouting information, and this is actually something that Hyun even does himself. So taking the full derivative of that style. But obviously, if he was going to just commit to a 2-base all-in, it'd be very unlikely that he'd want to scout out. With or invest in the Overlord speed.
And I thought that we were going to see Banshees here, but MMA making that reactor on the barracks and making the starboard right next to it kind of tricked me. And we have a Viking coming out here from MMA.
Yeah, I kind of like it. This reminds me of it's kind of like a Pulte style thing. We don't really see too many Terran players do this, but you get the very fast Viking. You kind of churn out Marauders. Don't see anything quite like that yet, but basically the Viking just gets you that map control. You get the Marauder just in case, since you cannot get anything like Banshees. And you also get a nice stim timing with this. The things that kind of delays, your third command center is not as fast as usual, and also your engineering bays are a little bit later, actually quite a bit later. But if you can do any early damage, it's almost always worth it. Viking already has a kill, so let's see how much it can get. But I do like this opening choice quite a bit from MMA.
Okay, it's very interesting, and yeah, Snute has the Overlord speed, but MMA is gonna be able to clear up most of those Overlords anyway. And Snute's got the scouting off, so he knows exactly what's going on here, and he knows that the third CZ is not very fast, so he's probably not gonna go for some crazy all-in. He's gonna macro up instead. There we see 13 drones were on the production tab just now. He's staying on one gas for quite some time, delaying the evolution chambers, delaying everything, just to get so many drones out. And yeah, he's gonna get a crazy good economy in just a minute here, and then he can start producing units.
Yeah, I like this. The roaches shove out to the tower. The cool thing about how fast Snute got his Overlord speed, though, is despite this Viking, you know, it's got 2 kills, but Snute can come in, he can get scouting information, and he can leave before that Viking tags him. In an ordinary game, once your Overlord scout's done, you have to wait until you have that lair completely set up. You have to wait until you have, you know, Overseers so that you can get a little bit faster. But that's the nice thing about the speed boost. Snute doesn't have a lair, but he can still get that secondary scouting that's oh so crucial for plotting a perfect Zerg defense.
Yeah, it seems though that Snute is missing his +1 carapace. No, there it is actually, a little bit later than it had to be, but he will have his upgrades done a little bit sooner than the upgrades for MMA, so maybe he could get into some timings there, but he will just have a small timing window actually. Lair coming down from Snute, and he has those spore collars, but did you see that? He actually pulled 1 drone just to be able to get the hit from the Widow Mine so that he wouldn't lose more. So only a 50 mineral loss there from Snute for that Widow Mine.
And he's going to try to burrow the other one as these Hellions and Reapers bring the pressure. And he's still, once again, only going to get 1 drone. So not a bad play from MMA. He's trying to run away. He wants to get back into the medevac. That's always nice. You can save it like that. So often we see the Widow Mines left behind now. What do we have here? He's getting his reactors up. Very standard.
He's taking all of the geysers. The bailingness is going down, so this looks a lot like he's going to go up to Mutas. But remember that this time he will only be on 6 gases. He doesn't have that 4th base. He's going to try to take it now, actually. But there is a Widow Mine that's going to prevent this drone from morphing into a hatchery. Too bad for Snute, and his 4th base is going to be delayed. And last game he had his 4th base up by now, but he is gonna delay the 3rd base of MMA for a while, so I guess that compensates a bit.
Yeah, I love this. You know, one of the most powerful things a Zerg player can do, especially to anyone watching, excuse me, as these Hellions actually run in there, picking off a few of these drones, do manage to get quite a few kills. Really nice play from MMA. Does manage to clean that up, but that was so scary. He's killed 20 drones this game. But I just wanted to briefly mention delaying that 3rd base. Any Zergs watching, delaying the Terran's 3rd is so crucial. It's really getting that 3rd nice and early is the best way to get this huge macro backbone going. But MMA, he's done a lot of damage to kind of give himself that position anyway.
Yeah. So delaying that 3rd, good for Snute, and he got his 4th base up at another position. So he really wants that 4th base because to be able to, like we said last game, get the Spire out, get those Mutas out, and also get up to Hive and that 3/3. That is also important. You need more gas than you can get from 3 bases.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those situations where you didn't make early Banelings, but you know, you don't have those extra geysers to help pump that up. So the Widow Mines helped. He actually cleans up a few lings and saves almost every single unit that he dropped down there. Really nice play from MMA.
Really well played.
And he's pushing into the 3rd base at the same time. There's no Banelings on the map.
There are no Banelings, and then it's going to be terribly hard for Snute's units to take care of this. MMA is going to pick up. He doesn't want to lose anything unnecessary. And yeah, Snute is stuck on 3 bases, and he really wants to get that 4th up. He's taking a macro hatchery now. Looking at the supply, MMA is doing really well here, and he's pushing everywhere, getting Snute a bit out of position. The Mutas are out, but I don't think that they're going to be able to do that much.
Yeah, I honestly don't think so. You know, the Muta count really isn't that crazy high. It's a pretty standard number. I like that he's getting the +1 attack. Always good to see that. And there's still more medevacs constantly flying around, and MMA's keeping this threat up of being pushed so high. Look at, it's drawing the attention away from other things that Snute could be doing, like this creep spread. It's, it really hasn't been the most impressive creep spread that we've seen in this series so far, as he brings another queen out to try to press that. But Snute has his 4th base on the way. Probably one of the most crucial things on this map. He's actually going to take the 5th as well. So going for the rest of the resources on his side of the playing field. And I don't know. He's going to need some good engagements because MMA has a huge supply lead.
Yeah, he's gonna need crazy good engagements, and as you pointed out, the creep spread is not that good. It's not very impressive, so it's gonna be harder to get those engagements that he needs. He got actually kind of a good fight there, but because the Widow Mines were not burrowed in time, I think that MMA will be able to get out anyway, though. He has some Widow Mines to fall back on. And there was a small attack at the 3rd base, actually, of Snute.
Yeah, drop hitting the main base as well. The infestation pit is on the way, so that's going to be threatened by this. And at the same time, he's pushing that top right base. So if he can deny the 4th, that'd be huge. The mutas are going to come in here and try to pick off these medevacs before MMA can get away. But at the cost of this base on the right side, the 4th, he will be able to kill this off. Everything is on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
And, I got to give it to Snute, though. MMA had a very nice supply lead before trying to make that push down the center lane. And Snute now, evening it up, had a little bit of a supply lead for a while, is getting on the offensive again. We have a bunker for MMA in the 3rd base, getting a wraparound with the Zergling. Should be able to pick that off and maybe even ravage this 3rd base mineral line. As the Banelings try to come in here for a flank, he got a good couple of shots off, and Snute, he's playing ball.
Wow, yeah, Snute has to be careful here. He has that Overseer together with the Mutalisk, so he can look out for the Widow Mines, but still he has to be really careful. And it's hard for him to get a good fight, but he's trying to make some small counterattacks, and he actually managed to get all the SUVs off mining from that 3rd base of MMA, and MMA is forced to pull back.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of keeping MMA at home, and now he's got
Oh my god, he's not going to kill that command center? Wow, he got the kill off.
Liftoff on the 3rd base orbital. The
wow.
Mutalisks come in. He's going to pick off some supply depots as well. That 4th base is moving to the right side, but Snute, if he sees
that sure was a turning point. Wow.
Yeah, if he sees this 4th command center, there's no way that MMA will be able to save it. He's kind of just lucky that Snute doesn't know that he's going for this ballsy move here. And these Lings are still running around.
Oh wow, and Snute is actually in a supply lead now. I don't really know how he managed to get back into this game, but killing that 3rd command center off sure made it... Yeah, that was huge.
I mean, MMA's still pushing on the left side. He's actually trying to burrow these Widow Mines to prevent them from really hurting himself. The Mutas have to watch how close they get. He will clean up the majority of these forces, though.
And Snute was using Overlords to trying to get those Widow Mine shots off, and then fly in with the Mutalisks. Very cute move there from Snute once again to take care of those Widow Mines. I think that he seems to be very good at taking care of Widow Mines, actually. Moving one unit at a time to get the shot off, and also using the Overlords to get the shots off.
Yeah, the one thing he needs to worry about are these counterattacks from MMA. He's pushing back into the 3rd. He's still got his opponent on the equal economy. And with that orbital command that he's morphing on the right side, those mules, Snute doesn't realize that MMA actually has a booming economy because of that base.
And more importantly, MMA is gonna have 3-3 very soon, and yeah, Snute didn't get the enough gas so that he could go for the fast 3-3 himself. So he's now on 2-2 versus soon to be 3-3 from MMA. So I think that MMA can easily get back into this game with that 3-3.
Yeah, it's so tough, and now I feel like this game is going in a bit of a seesaw motion. Snute is headed over towards that base, but is it too late? There's so many Marines here. 3-3 about to finish up. I don't think Snute can push into this.
Nah, it's gonna be tough for him to push in. I guess Snute just realized that there was a base here from MMA. Snute is actually spreading his units quite well. He has no banelings left though, so he cannot overcommit here, and he is forced to move back. But now he knows there is a base. He has his 3-3 on the way, so I think that MMA has a timing window before the 3-3 hits for Snute, and after that it's going to be quite even again.
Yeah, it's just so tough because MMA's done a great job of denying Snute's 4th, and while MMA lost his 3rd base, he's planted this command center at a spot that has more minerals left to mine. So. Great! It's a great opportunity for him to use those mules to just supercharge his economy. And without the creep spread, Snute's having a very difficult time taking these engagements versus MMA.
Oh, that Widow Mine! Snute had no idea of the Widow Mine being burrowed at his 4th base. Taking a fight here that was, yeah, it was really good for MMA. MMA is getting up to that supply lead, and with that 3-3, it's going to be hard for Snute about all of this bio.
Yeah, I mean, he does a great job picking off those Marines there. I think focusing the medevacs is so important. You cannot let them just run away at you. But a Marine drop in the main base, MMA is just being tenacious as always. You know, the Zerglings go to the main. Well, now the Marines are at the 4th, and Snute just cannot catch a break. He cannot get a 4th base down. He absolutely cannot secure any additional economy. He starts a hatchery, immediately cancels it because MMA's drops are just everywhere. And he has a 4th command center rebuilding at that 3rd location, which, you know, has a surprising amount of resources simply because he hasn't been mining it for the last few minutes. So this is,
yeah, exactly.
This is a tough spot to be in.
Wow, so yeah, now the 3-3 is coming in for Snute, but I think that that MMA managed to do what he had to do before that 3-3 from Snute. Snute is actually even going to take the fight right before his 3-3 is completed, and going down to an 84 supply versus 136 from MMA, and Snute knows that there is nothing he can do, and